Hey crew, Rival here, and today we're talking about the Diminished map. This one is one of the most intimidating maps for people because you're in this tube of death, but we have to go down the stairs, across mid, and then finally up. We have to watch our stairwells. There's a lot going on, and I want to show you that yes, shields and bombers can really help break through, but being with your team and knowing if my teammate's going this way, I'm going that way, and anticipating your teammates' moves is probably more, if not the most important part of this map so that you guys can dominate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an overview. I'm going to talk to you about routes, which way that you want to go. We never want to go the same direction, how we can break past mid, how we can grab the flag, get out, what to do, safe spots, the whole shoot match. By now you've seen a few maps, and if you actually haven't seen me break down a few maps, go back, watch map 101 so that you understand certain pressures and kind of see formation and see all of the maps that we have already. The reason being, these map breakdowns, as you will see, it's not just about the map. It's, hey, on this map, you can move better this way. But some of those movement patterns, grapple techniques, thruster techniques do apply to other maps. So it's really important that you understand that. All right, let's talk brief overview. So the first thing I want you to know are where these spawns are. And it's less about where do I spawn, how do I go from there. It's more about when you're actually raiding a base, and in the actual upcoming clips of me actually maneuvering around Diminished, you'll see like when I take this angle, I'm always thinking about these spawns. So it's really important you know that these spawns happen in the corner, behind mid, and on either side. So again, that as you're spawn raiding, you can keep yourself alive. Now we'll talk more about this in later clips, but most importantly is when you're taking, say, a stairwell, as you're going into their base, you chuck a grenade off the ground, it bounces to blow up because we're trying to check for, these spawns because we can't always see them spawn around the corner. So we, chuck the grenade, it blows up. Oh, somebody's there. If they're not, then we know as we clear this door, and you'll see me physically looking here, I'm checking, are they in the spawn, this spawn, this spawn, or this spawn? And if, everybody's dead, you can grab the flag. If maybe there's somebody at 1 or 2, maybe you're going to crouch behind and shoot. But it's really important that you know these spawns. So then routes. Now, you probably know most people, not most, a lot of people, they just camp. They'll just sit maybe in the stairwell. Maybe they'll just sit at the top of the stairs. Maybe somebody will be sitting kind of in a typical pattern like this. Why? Because they can kill you as you're crossing mid. They're in every direction. You've got snipers at the top, bombers. It's the classic boring way to set up for Diminished. Now it works. You can get a few dead, but funny enough, if even all 4 of these people had grapple or thruster, by the time we start spawning, they only make it about 2/3 of the way up the stairs. So we spawn and we can just kind of hit them. Granted, if they have a hammer and they're coming in the edges or spankers or whatever, maybe they get the advantage, but setting up that way just isn't ideal. So normally what'll happen is you'll have, 2 people sitting on your team. Let's say we're green, 2 people here, 1 people in your stairwell, right? And 1 here. And we're trying to somehow get past mid. So what I like to do is when I spawn, I'm going to go into the stairwell first, because I know I can bounce a grenade really well into their opposing stairwell. So I can give us a little bit cover. Now, if I throw a grenade and it blows up, chances are they're going to back up. And that's my opportunity. That's when I'm going to start to move towards center. And hopefully my teammates are too. And then as I'm going center, I'm going to go for the closest stairwell to me. So if I'm on the right side when I spawn, I'm going to go to their right side stairwell. Unless I have thruster, if I know I threw a grenade, maybe 2 people die in that left stairwell, I know it's probably open. I might run mid, jump, and thrust over into the left, but we'll talk more about that in a second about crossing paths. But I'm going to try to get into their stairwell. That way I can, weave up through here. I can check spawns on my way in. I can look across the map. I can time it out as I'm killing to grab that flag, and I can go across mid. So that's generally what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a stairwell and go. Even if I have sniper, even if I have something like that. Now, shields can kind of change things a little bit. So let's say we have a team with a shield. we know, we could put a shield up by our flag, but, chances are they're not really going to do anything to us right there. So putting it on the other side of our stairwell is step one. That's where we normally do it. It helps prevent any bombs and stuff from coming up those stairwells because, people are chucking grenades, bombing right out the gate. And I really advise you, the habit was kind of instilled in me too, is as soon as you start the map, you just chuck a grenade. Nobody's down there. The chance that you actually get somebody is like 1 out of 100 that someone's grappling in or whatever. So I always hold my grenades, and I try not to be willy-nilly with them on this map because I, again, am using them to bounce off the ground to blow up in someone's face, and then I'll pick them up, clean them up with one of my cleanup weapons. If you don't know what I'm referring to, I did an entire video just talking about the weapons, and one of the categories I classify them in is the cleanup weapons. If you haven't seen it, please go check that out. But anyway, you have that shield there. Now, right before we enter mid or just at the bottom of our stairwell, maybe we put a shield, but you got to think they have such an easy vantage point to destroy that shield that it's one of those, you use it and then you got to get out of the way. You got to thrust her out of the way. We know dead zone wise, like we don't want to be in mid. It is too easy to get killed. So many people try to tuck around a corner here, right? Somewhere around here. And you just chuck a grenade, they're dead. They try to tuck by this wall over here. You chuck a grenade, they're dead. It's really hard to sit mid. Very seldomly are you going to survive that. And again, even if you do survive it, don't let that convince you mid is safe, because it's not. As we're running up the stairs, we are trying to get a shield on either this stairwell, or behind the stairwell. Ideally, you get it on the other side of the stairwell, but sometimes somebody's in, let's say, their right stairwell. You might throw the shield up and try to get a corner into the wall. You might throw a shield up to block somebody coming in at you from the stairwell. You can still kind of see those sight lines. If you say put your shield right here, you can see kind of all the way over here. You have no idea. You're blind to here and this corner in the purples, but you can watch your motion sensor in the lower left. You can see if somebody's kind of coming around the corner if you need to deal with them, right? Shields wise as well. So let's cut those back. If you can put one right in front of the flag, that can be helpful. I generally am trying to put one on either side of the flag of the stairwell because you have the natural wall, which is blocking, all these spawns. If let's say I'm on the left side here, I have this little mid that I can actually crouch, and it's very hard for them to see down and see me because of the vantage point, right? In fact, I have a clip, and I won't show it on this video, but in previous clips that I've done, I actually kill 6 people, so I wipe the entire team and 2 more by just kind of sticking in that stairwell right there because they can't quite see where I am, and I'm able to go over and back over that center. And again, they can't quite see me because they have to look down. And if I'm crouched, again, they kind of look past me and they don't really see me, and I can cause a lot of mayhem. But again, I'll put a flag possibly onto one side. The nice thing about putting it on one side too is, let's say I'm not the one grabbing the flag, but a teammate is. They might grab the flag, jump, and thrust behind me, behind the flag, and it forces anybody on the left side, they're completely guarded from unless they come down the stairs, which hopefully I'm there to block them. And it only allows people coming from the right to actually be able to attack them. Well, here I am sitting on the left with the shield, and I can just pick them off because I have a better angle at them because they have a shield in front of them, right? So putting it off to the side generally is better. Another reason I might put a shield here in the stairwell, and you'll actually see me do this for you in actual clip, is as I'm running through here, I might put the shield where it is. I might run up the stairwell, grab the flag, get past the shield, drop the flag here, and then run back into the stairwell, or tuck into a power position, which we'll be talking about here in a second. Tuck into a power position. So I grab the flag. I might not even go around the stairs. I might go straight up through my shield, grab that flag, jump back, throw the flag, tuck into the stairwell. I might even do that with thruster like you saw me doing on Corpo, where I grabbed the flag, jumped through it, I thrusted over so you can't see me. I'm tucked in the corner. I round the corner with a bulldog and I kill you. If you haven't seen that video, you got to see it. So the reason I do that is I'm hoping someone in my team is going to move up and grab that flag, and here I am there protecting them, and I have the shield backing me up, so I don't have to quite pay too much attention to what's going on dead center mid. I can focus on what's going on the stairwell. Now, if the flag is moving, let's keep using purple. If the flag is moving this way, and I tuck into this stairwell, they might not even know I'm there. They might try coming down the stairwell. Maybe it's a hammer, but they haven't started their swing because they have no idea I'm in there, and I can kill them. So again, it's very important on this map, and we've talked about it, to be able to relay a flag. So I grab it, I throw it, I'm protecting you. The next person grabs it, throws it, they're protecting the next person. Again, you can't always just grab the flag, grapple out, thruster out, and survive. So let's talk power positions and safe positions. So safe positions, they're safe from most angles. Of course you can get killed in these safe positions, right? But, oh, hello, box. We have a safe position on either of these corners here because, it protects you from the stairwell, and that's why I'm also bouncing grenades, is because if they're tucked into a corner because they know I'm coming, they're doing that so they can't get attacked. But if I bounce a grenade right in front of their face, it brings them down to a one shot and I can clean them up. But it is rather safe. A lot of people think of the stairwell as safe, and it can be, but most importantly, if I'm in my stairwell going down, it's safe right here, right? Because there's that wall I'm up against. I can kind of wait as people are coming up the hill or the stairwell. But if I'm in their staircase, I might use right about here because I can kind of look at anybody spawning. I'm protected from these back spawns because I can use my motion tracker. I can look at the other stairwell, and if I need to, I can tuck in and around the corner here, which again will block off a lot of things. But kind of in this crease, I'll actually do a circle. Around this corner is kind of a safe spot. It's not safe in the regard that, you're not a sitting duck because you chuck enough grenades, you're going to get them. But you don't necessarily want to sit here because it's really easy for them to spawn here and just chuck a grenade and it bounces off the wall and it pinches you off. So again, by sticking in this purple corner here, even if they throw a grenade, it goes over your head. And we'll talk about that more. Now, another safe spot that people don't think about is in your base behind here, or even on edges, you can be safe. So if I'm in my base, I can tuck behind it if bombs are coming because they'll go over my head because of the stairwell. It's very hard to actually get it over and on me. Usually goes behind me towards that hexagon or that octagon behind me. So it's safe if I'm, there taking shots or whatever. But if I'm in their base, a lot of times people will hang out back here. So if, let's say I'm coming through the stairwell this way, I might tuck to this safe spot, crouch. Even though they're in the purple box or in the magenta box, they can't really get me. Even if they're spawning, they can't really get me. And let's say I have thruster or something like that, I can grab the flag, I can thrust and throw it. Granted, I might die, but that flag is here, somewhere in this ballpark. Their team is in this yellow box, and maybe my teammates are, somewhere in the stairwell here. Maybe they're coming up this way, and they have a better chance at getting the flag and the other team, or at least exterminating the team so they can get the flag and relay it out of there. There is a special spot, an extremely powerful power position. You have to watch this video to see it. I demonstrate how to get up there. I show you how I get up there so that you can, again, look down at the team. You're actually guarded pretty well. It's hard for them to get you. You can see the doors. You can see kind of where they're spawning. And I do talk about this a little bit. I removed my body art or whatever it's called. I used to have toxic footsteps, so when I would run, there'd be like this glow behind me. But I realized when people spawn and they have those effects, it gives you like a flash. Well, I noticed it when I was up here in Diminished, and I could see, even though I couldn't see through the walls or anything, I could see a flash. And then all of a sudden I'm like, well, someone spawned over there. Well, I should turn off my foot effects, right? And if you have them, I know they look cool, but they are giving away your spawn and they are giving away your position. And if you have someone spawn raiding, and let's say you spawn behind them, as they're turning, if they see that flash, instead of seeing your body this big, now they have this thing that they can see out of the sides of their eyes that's even bigger, and they can catch and track onto you faster and kill you more easily. So turn off those effects. I know they're cool. I still have my reticle over my eye because it doesn't affect how I spawn. But if you're spawning and it's game over or flames or something like that, expect people to know exactly where you're spawning, right? So let's get into me kind of maneuvering around this map, using thrusters, using grapple, showing you some grenade bounces, things like that, things to be aware of, and that special power position that I want you to see. And then from there, we're actually going to jump into a few clips, different plays that I've made in Diminished. Rather than showing you, longer footage, I'm just going to show you this play, and why it worked and why it worked out, or why, it didn't work out, and why the other team maybe made a mistake allowing me to make this play work. Okay? Okay, crew, so Diminished. We know so many people, especially new people, are just going to camp at the top, right? So it's so important that we understand there are times when we push and times when we don't. There are quite a few people out there that say on Diminished, you just keep pounding, and that's not true. If as you're going down the stairs, someone has a bomber, back up. You don't have to sacrifice your life because, the middle of this map is like a mosh pit. You're pretty much dying or getting past. If you get past, it's really important. And that's why people camp. Is let's say they get up on you by one flag. They'll sit there and camp because you now have to come to them. They're ahead. They're going to just snipe on you, and it can be problematic. So with this map, you really need to practice sliding, scoping, and shooting, okay? You need to be comfortable doing something like this. So I slide, I shoot, I'm over, I'm shooting, I'm over. Because if you're not able to hit their snipers. So again, most snipers, they're just going to sit there. Now, my tendency with sniping is I'm strafing, right? I'm back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because I know at some point they're going to pop out of that corner. And, they might try to slide and snipe me like this. Well, if my target's moving like this, I can easily tuck behind the wall or anything like that. Most people, they get comfortable. They throw that shield up. They're just going to sit there and just try to snipe down at you. And that's really lazy on their part because they're such a sitting duck because, we can throw those grenades. We can bank one if they're just sitting in a corner over here. If they're sitting back here, let's say, you just bank a grenade, and if you are charging forward when you throw that grenade, it can really skip up those stairs. So yes, bomber heavy, Ravager heavy, spanker heavy, but we need to be able to just kind of slide in, take that shot. And you know what? Chances are you're going to die if you're trying to maneuver, but a lot of times they're not expecting you to be not just aggressive, but calculatingly aggressive. You're not just running up into them, trying to bomb them, whatever. You're cutting angles. You're G-sliding off of the benches, whatever you're doing, like we've learned with Corpo. You're G-sliding off, and you're into the stairwell here. If I am shooting, I know I can G-slide in, boom, boom, boom. Maybe I throw a grenade up here somewhere. I'm here. I can come up. I can G-slide off if I need to, if no one's there, and I can grab the flag and I can be gone. So again, you can't just camp on a map like this because it's going to slow down the game. Now, there are times you go 10 minutes before you actually cross mid because they're just sitting there, they're just camping. This can be a very frustrating map, and again, I want to show you ways in which we can counteract that. Okay, so let's talk safe spots and power positions. So safe spots are generally, you're not easily hit with a bomber or a grenade. So let's say people are pushing up and they're bombing you and they haven't entered your stairwell yet. A safe spot is back here, right? Safe spots here, safe spots against this wall like we talked about. This can be a safe spot. If you see a grenade coming up, you can kind of tuck behind this corner. You can be somewhat safe behind here. Your head does stick out a little bit. Back here is certainly a no-go because everything kind of bounces back here. Safe spot, of course, is right here in the stairwell. If you know people are coming, even if they're throwing grenades, let's say I get a really good angle, even if I throw it off this wall, you got to be a really good throw and know that I'm there to actually get me here. So it's not perfectly safe. No spot is perfectly safe. But unless they are really good at banking grenades, you're going to be pretty safe because they're going to throw them kind of in the stairwell over here. Not saying they won't knock you down to a one-shot, but you can tuck in here if you do get to a one-shot. You can sprint into the wall, you can thrust into the wall, and that will kind of make your hitbox maneuver up and down. Another bonus feature, we actually talked about it on Corpo. No safe spot over here, right? A lot of people think they can sit here, they're good. This is grenade central. It's nothing to kill anybody here. So again, we want to get out of center. But coming back here can be somewhat safe because there's a natural barrier here, a natural barrier here. They have to perfectly throw this grenade right about there or even lower. It has to perfectly bounce to actually kill you. It can one-shot you, but it won't kill you. As you're maneuvering up the stairs, everything in reverse. So here is a pretty good safe spot. The grenades are going to kind of tuck back there as they roll down. You have this natural barrier here, so any grenade here you're going to be pretty safe. So I'm here. I can certainly get killed from over there and killed from that way, but I've blocked half of the spawns and half of the sight lines. Another safe spot is tucking into this wall here, assuming no spawns are there. Even if you have somebody over here or a hammer, they can't get you because, there's quite a wall here, and you're going to be pretty safe. Funny enough, a safe spot is actually right here. Even though you're open to sight lines, as long as you're crouched, if they spawn right there, they don't really see you. They spawn right there, they don't really see you. Maybe you get a shield up here to make you extra safe. It's actually, in my opinion, less safe than right here because they're going to expect you to be crouched in this corner. Another safe spot, and I've done it before, if I, let's say, come up through these stairs, I kill the people over here. I know they're spawning over there. I'll stick myself here. All grenades are going to go over my head. A hammer can still get me, but I can, let's say I come through this way. You know, I've killed. I know they're this way, so I'm crouched. I can G-slide, I can throw that flag, and I can be gone. So let's talk our equipment. So we have sensors first. Certainly you want to put one on the stairwell here, because it's going to just light up this inner side. It gets pretty much all the way back into their stairs, so we can kind of see what's going on if they're trying to tuck into one of the safe spots here. But as we move, every inch matters, right? So I threw the sensor because that's the most I could see. As I'm making my way down here, I might throw a sensor a little bit higher and higher because along with using shields, and we'll talk about this, stair stepping our way up, a threat sensor stepping our way up helps us understand where are they in their stairwell, where are they sniping from, because this is such a bomber-heavy, sniper-heavy map. So many people tend to camp. I might even slide in like you just saw me doing and back out just to kind of get an idea of where I am. Maybe I have to shoot my skewer over there. Maybe I'm pegging that stairwell just to see, oh, nobody's over there. Okay, I can come up here, throw a grenade. Nobody's over here. I'd throw maybe a threat sensor kind of where that skewer is. I can grab the flag, I can throw. And since that threat sensor's up, I can be in here, I can engage. Maybe I can use their own stairwell against them. I can throw another threat sensor on the wall over there, right? So I know when those spawns are up, so I can sit right here maybe. Again, Diminished is such a fast-paced map, even though so many people camp, that those threat sensors can be excellent for you to actually raid a base, especially if you don't have hammer, right? So let's just briefly talk about getting around with grapples. So grapples is so important to really zip down there, zip up, and sometimes it's the only way that you're going to save yourself, especially let's say you die, you spawn up, you're way back here, your team is past mid, and you want to get to them. My favorite place to hit is where I have it marked, so I might come down this way, jump, grapple it, slide down, and I'm up, and I can initiate, I can attack, maybe I stick into this corner because I'm never going to go the same way, just like we talked about on routes. As I'm coming up here, I'm going to bounce a grenade. You know, I'm going to try to fight around this corner. I'm anticipating somebody to be there. If they're not, their next step is going to be in that back corner. If they're not, I'm looking this way, and then I'm looking at the flag. So as I'm coming in, you know, I throw my grenade, it blows up. I see nobody. If I do see somebody, maybe there's somebody tucked in this corner, into this corner. I'm trying to clear those angles. Clearing. Okay, now I can grab that flag and I can go. Let's come this way now. So I come through the stairwell, I throw that grenade. Maybe I have to engage. I'm coming around. I tuck behind here if I have to clear. Oftentimes people are going to sit back here, which we talked about. I'm going to grab that flag. I hit that same pillar on my way out. I can hit the wall, and then I'm just a two-skip in. So just like we've talked about with other maps, learning to grapple and getting really competent with your grappling ability is so crucial on a map like this. This map also, so you saw me bouncing grenades off the ground. This map, you need to be good with your grenades. You need to know, hey, I'm getting bombed, someone's right there, so I gotta throw my grenade. Maybe I come this way, by now it blows up, and then I can take this angle, I can shoot, I can bounce a grenade because I know somebody's mid, I can bounce a grenade behind here because people tend to stick here. As I'm kind of fighting my way up, because maybe I don't have thrusters, I can bounce grenades off the stairs, maybe blow up in their face so I can tuck in here, I can throw a grenade off the stairs. You gotta be so good at how to throw a grenade on this map. You need to be able to get out of the way, tuck into a stairwell, protect yourself one shot. I can grab the flag, throw it. This map, it really comes down to being able to just advance that flag one step at a time. Not all the time are you going to be able to actually just grab the flag like you see me doing here and actually juggle it as I do it without looking. But it is about grab the flag, throw it, protect. Grab the flag, throw it, protect. So a key part to Diminished is knowing that you are going to have to relay that flag most of the time. Very seldomly are you actually going to be able to just grab the flag, turn around, zip out of there, thruster or whatever. So I want you to get comfortable, grab the flag, throw the flag, turn around, and start shooting. So if you are practicing this map with your thrusters, with your grapple, whatever, have a couple bots, grab the flag, throw it, kill a few people, grab the flag, throw it behind you, kill a few people, grab the flag, and just practice doing that. It's going to help you with other maps, but this map in particular, because a lot of times you need to just throw it towards your teammates and try to just push some of that pressure back so that their team can't just overwhelm you, right? So that your teammate can pick up that flag and head the other way. They're going to die constantly. You definitely need to know how to grapple a flag on this map because it's just so crucial. Oftentimes, again, your teammate will die. You need to grapple that flag and get it in. So you need to know how to grapple. You also need to know how to bounce grenades. You need to know and be very competent with, if I throw the grenade like this, how does it move? And practicing is really important. And I'll show you kind of some ways in which that I'll use those grenades. Okay, shields. So with shields, we know we can put one right here, and that's going to protect anybody who's trying to bomb up. Because again, a great way to get in through this base is just to bomb your way up, to set shields as you go. So to protect that, you want to put it here. We don't necessarily want to put it up here, even though I can stand behind here, is because I don't get a very good vantage point. If I do stand up here, I am such an easy target sitting duckwise. I may put the shield here. Sometimes my opening strategy is if I know I have a shield, I'll come here, I'll look up, I'll throw the shield, and it'll end up landing right there so that we can kind of battle this way and, fight to throw grenades in the corners. Oftentimes people do like to have a shield here in this corner. The problem with that is, I'll actually throw this one. The problem with that is you have to really step out into the danger zone, and most people don't realize I can just chuck a grenade off this wall, and you see how it banked right there and it got behind the shield. So if I get close enough, so if I'm here and I know there's a shield there, I might just chuck a grenade back up over here, throw another grenade, it's going to bounce, and then I can get it in there, right? So shields, you got to be careful, it doesn't clear you overhead. I very seldomly am going to put a shield right here. It's such an easy target for somebody up here to just bomb down, throwing grenades. It's not great. In a last-ditch effort, if you know, hey, I'm going to die real quick, you can throw it there. But we want to at least get it onto their stairwell if possible. Another great place that I talked about is putting the shield right here, because I'll throw the shield here. Maybe there's some people up there. I can chuck a grenade off this floor, maybe clear over here. I might shoot this way. Oh, I need to back out, come out this way because maybe somebody grabbed the flag and now I need to protect them. But I can work the stairwell this way. Some people will put it right here in the stairwell, and that can be nice if you think that people are spawning over here and they're just going to chuck grenades this way at you, especially if you know your teammate's going to grab that flag and you can shoot it here. The shield is wide enough that if you actually put it somewhere about here, the corner will end up here, the corner will be there. They could still sneak, grenades past you this way. But again, you can block the stairwell, you can block here and just kind of stick out here. Again, I like to actually put it in the stairwell here because then it actually blocks the opposing stairwell. Because my motion sensor is actually helping me detect if anybody's over this way. So I may put a shield here if I get all the way up here because I know there's going to be people spawning over there. It allows me to kind of fight this way. Maybe I put the shield on this side of the flag so that shield kind of absorbs any shots coming from that way. My team, if I'm grabbing the flag, my team might come up this way, not have to look too much that way, and can shoot towards this way because they know they're protected for a few seconds. If I have a shield there, I can have somebody enter into the stairwell here as a team, and they can kill everybody here. They can quick tuck behind the shield and blast this way. They can even tuck behind this way. Certainly putting a shield here can be very beneficial. You can kind of block people coming from that way, block people coming from this way. If my shield's up here, I can chuck a grenade off the wall that way. I can protect myself this way. I can grab the flag, get behind the shield, and hopefully my teammate has another shield. So again, this is one of those maps. Shield placement can be really powerful, even if you don't have spankers, cinder shots, or heat waves. But it's not everything, right? This map is one of my favorites because of the fact you have to be able to shoot your way up, and you can't just take the easy routes, and getting past mid is a very, very tough thing to be able to do. So thruster on this map is great with hammers, of course. You got to make sure that if you're going to thrust, you're not sprinting. That way you can maybe tuck past here. They don't see that you're here. Maybe I'm bombing. I can thrust over here. They don't quite see me. Maybe I'm actually going to cross back over. Even though they think I'm over here, because of my thruster, I'm going to cross over. Maybe I get lucky and don't get killed down mid. The cloak is still easy to see, but I can come back this way, thruster again. I'm in here. I can bomb, thruster, grab the flag. I'm gone. Maybe after I throw the flag, I come back this way because I'm expecting my teammates to relay. You know, crouching by this can be great if you have thruster because I can, you know, come in from this stairwell, let's say. I'm here, I can bomb, I can jump thruster over here. Now I use this wall as protection. I can maybe bomb back here. I can quick make an exit. I can grab that flag. I can thrust this way. And I can keep skipping it. If I know I'm getting bombed, if I have thrusters, I might take a stairwell. And then when I get here, I might hit my thruster to get to the flag pedestal faster. The cool thing with Diminished here is because my flag is so far back here, even if I know people are coming from mid and I'm headed towards the stairwell, because I have that thruster, I should be able to beat them to this pedestal. So you just got to be careful because everybody's looking at you, right? Even if I thrust in here, get the flag, I need to be able to tuck back here and re-engage the enemy. So again, thrusters are great, but you got to just be careful when you're using them. So something I want you to practice, and this can be on both sides of the map, but you're always going to do it when you're going after them. So let's say 3 people die. Someone shoots a spanker, sniper, whatever. Maybe you're able to do it. You're here. Maybe there's a shield somewhere over here. You take out 3. That 4th one, you don't know where they are, but you know, you've got 2 or 3 people moving up. What I recommend is actually trying to come up here. Okay? Now, I'll show you how to do it, but I'm just saying, when you get up here, you can actually protect your flag carrier. You can see people coming in through the doors this way. And again, this is one of those, holy crap, I need to take an angle. We've talked about this on formation. Sometimes you take an angle up top. On corporal, there's times that you take an angle. Up here is that angle, and it can be challenging for some people to get up here, so let me show you how to do it. So as I, you know, break through from the bottom of the stairwell, so to about this second step here and back to about here, somewhere in here, you know, maybe even as far back as here, I'm going to try to shoot my grapple right there. I'm going to jump, grapple, and I'm going to slide. Okay, let me show you that again. So I'm going to be sprinting. I jump, grapple, slide. Now, if you're having issues getting up there, sometimes it's because if the pipe is here, you're hitting the pipe like this. So sometimes if you grapple up in that corner, you may have to swing around and slide in. It is a slide. Just crouching doesn't always work for me, so I do initiate sprint. So, you know, I'm here. Let's say we're shooting, I initiate sprint, I can jump, I can come at that angle, and I'm up there. And you can see that I grapple slid in, and then I hold grapple while I'm up here. I can see people spawning back there. Oftentimes, and here's an added bonus, a long time ago I turned off my body, like, spawn thing. So a lot of people have, you know, toxic under their feet or flames or whatever. But what they don't realize is when you spawn, there's a flash of light that happens, right? So like game over flashes or whatever. Well, that's easy to see. That's easy to spot. So in the past, I used to have that toxic like footsteps. I took that away because I realized people could see me spawn a lot easier. It gives me just a little bit of an edge. So I turned that off. I still have my reticle over my eye because I like that. But again, it doesn't give away my position. So if you see somebody spawn, you know, chuck a grenade, right? Oh, someone's over there. I'll just chuck a grenade. I can chuck a grenade off of this pipe here. I can't throw it into the doors. I thought I could, but you know, I can snipe here, snipe. Now, let's say this, you know, it's my flag right now, but let's say this were the other team's flag. I can actually step back off the flag. I can grapple. From here, I would grab the flag, I could run, sprint, and grapple my way. So again, use that upper bonus area. If you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate you, by the way, and that's why I'm giving you these extra secrets later on in the video, is because there are people that only watch, you know, 3 to 5 minutes, they get the gist, and they move on. You're one of my subscribers. Hopefully, if not, please subscribe to this channel. You're one of those people that you want to learn. You're willing to put in the extra work, and that's why this bonus material is later on in the videos. So go back to formation, check out that bonus power position. Go back to corpo, check out those bonus grapple techniques that I show you. Every video, I'm trying to show you something that makes you advance, right? So I was going to cut up a bunch of clips for you guys so that I could show you different plays. But it turned out that one of the games that I actually played, so many things happened the right way. I got a shield when I needed to. I got, different weapons, things like that. So let's review that. So opening strategy, I'm immediately going through my stairwell, just like we've talked about. Now, as I round this corner, I catch a whiff of where the guy is, so I chuck a grenade, and you can see I get sparks. So I know that guy's injured, so I just beeline down there. Normally, I wouldn't do this, but when I knew that grenade went off, I said, you know what, I've got a pistol backup, I'm just going to go for it. So I, chuck a grenade, I'm going up the stairs, nothing's happening. They get a shield up. I look one way at the shield, I'm like, shit, I got to do something. Then someone with the toaster oven kind of pops up and gets me. So, next life, Rick's got this shield, so I'm sorry, he's got the flag, so I'm able to throw the shield and, exterminate. That's 2 dead. For some reason, my grenade caught on the floor as I was throwing it. It's really strange. So as soon as I stepped out, I got shot. So I'm actually going to jump ahead a little bit. This last life, I just die right away. So I'm getting out there. This one takes a little bit more time because, we're waiting. I'm kind of camping just a little bit because, there's a shield up. I don't want to get past. I see somebody with the spanker and a shield. So here I am sitting. I have a tendency that I will hit the stairwell and come back out for a rotation if I get one shot or something like that. Now I'm thinking, okay, I got to get this bomber. As they're coming, I'm shooting. I switch to my sniper. I'm trying to get him. 4 dead. So I know, okay, now I actually need to switch my weapon. So I grab my pistol because I'm more comfortable. I grab this grapple, and I'm able to just slide in. I was going to take the stairs immediately, but then I saw somebody stepping in, so I shot. From here, I grab this shield, and I'm able to throw it down as we're waiting for this other guy, right? So I go 1, 2, boom. This gravity hammer couldn't actually get me because as he was swinging, I tucked to the other side of the shield. You can't actually hit somebody through a shield if you have a hammer. So I was able to outmaneuver him that way. And then again, I know one of my guys is down there, so I'm grapple sliding in. I get this guy out of the stairs. I jump over, kill. They're not expecting me here. I switch to the grapple grab, hit that stump that I was talking about. I slide down. I'm able to 2 grapple in and get that 3rd flag. So again, this was just a highlight when you kind of culminate all of the stuff all at once. Here's how, I wouldn't call it the perfect diminished match, but it was pretty freaking close. I took the right routes. I made a quick second decision. Oh, I'm going to shoot over here. Okay, now I'll take the stairwell. Okay, I'll bounce a grenade. I put the shield up. I was able to double shot, melee somebody. Hammer tried coming. I cut to the other side of the shield. I'm using the shield mechanics to my advantage. And, there's just more people, and it ended up killing me. Then I was able to quick get back down there using my grapple. Again, it's fast-paced, but you have to be able to make those split-second decisions. So that's Diminished. There's quite a bit of strategy involved. Learning how to weave, learning how to go one way or another. It can be kind of frustrating if you're getting bombed, if you're getting grenaded, but learning to bounce those grenades, super important. Knowing how to grapple slide, how to thruster, knowing that on this map, you're going to want to relay that flag. Maybe you grab the flag, throw it, you're thrusting into their stairwell and coming back up in order to actually give cover. Knowing where your shields need to go and that special outlook place, right? Going up there. If you guys actually made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. You guys are actually here to learn something, and you understand that it's going to take a little bit of time. You have to learn this theory and kind of practice some things. I showed you a game clip where kind of everything manifested all in one game, from routes to shield to grapple sliding in to getting past their shield to different angles to positions to dealing with bombers and snipers and being able to overwhelm a team, throwing the flag, kind of coming back for it again, and then that grapple slide to finish. You kind of got to see it all play out in one game. So if you guys got anything out of this video, please like this video. It makes me motivated to make more content like this. This took a long time to make this video, and I'm happy to do it. It just keeps me motivated that you guys actually want to see stuff like this. Subscribe to the channel so that you can see all of the series, from just gameplay footage to map breakdowns to coulda, woulda, shoulda, so that you can continue getting better as Halo players too. This is Rival, and I'll see you guys next time.